think the public might be looking at you and your position right now and thinking, for the good of the Liberal Party, why is he staying on?
Here we go again, back with this jackass. Unfortunately, I have no choice but to work with him. He's got that federal funding and he promised me a lifetime supply of cherry pie. Cherry pie, how can I resist that? The jackass knows my weakness. Oh look, that cute reporter is asking a question. Not as cute as my Christia though.
Hi, my question is for the Prime Minister. Will Canada follow the US lead and impose tariffs on EVs from China?
Oh, a question about China. What is he going to say?
Obviously, we're watching closely what our closest trading partner in the United States is doing. But let's take a step back here. Canada, over the past number of years, has strategically and deliberately built itself up as one of the number one places in the world to invest in an EV supply chain.
What the hell is he even talking about?
And part of that is understanding that whether it's democracies in Europe or across the Americas or even in Asia, people need reliable suppliers, reliable partners.
Not even close to what she asked him.
The fact that we can rely on friends who are there to look for the win-wins.
Win? Is that a Chinese company? All I hear is blah, blah, blah. Good one, Dougie. Good one.
This is what we're here celebrating today, and it's great news for Port Colborne, it's great news for Ontario, it's great news for Canada.
I'm so confused. He didn't even answer the question. Now another reporter is asking a question.
If the Americans get in a trade war, it will involve us likely because of how integrated our systems are. But the best defense, they say, to that is to be self-sufficient. Yet we're 10 to 15 years away from any of these lithium mines or cobalt mines becoming, operational. And that's maybe, meaning we're beholden to the Chinese products now. Yet with graphite, for example, China now requires government approval for exports. Does that worry you? And is this the right time to pick a fight?
That's actually a good question.
There is a need and a desire to have not just efficient supply chains, but resilient supply chains, friendshoring, working together strategically to make sure that no country, particularly a country that has sometimes shown itself to be extremely challenging to the aims of our democracies and our successes, could corner the market on our net zero future.
Here we go again, not answering the question. I need to learn this technique of not answering questions and instead responding with talking point. He is so boring, I'm falling asleep. Oh my God, how is that binder not falling? What kind of black magic is that? I think I'm hallucinating. Too much cherry pie, I guess. Focus, Dougie, focus.
I have a question for Mr. Kudo, if I could ask you a question.
What's wrong with this dude? He's asking the Japanese guy a question? What a fool. He doesn't understand you. He's Japanese.
Can you tell us anything more about this decision? Why you decided on Port Colborne? What was it that attracted you here? And if you can say anything about the impact that you expect it to have on this area, the number of jobs, whether people from the area will get those jobs, that kind of thing?
See, they don't understand you? She's probably saying, what did he say?
ご質問ありがとうございます。旭化成は正直言いますと、2年から3年前から
Man, I don't understand Japanese. No clue what he just said.
立っていました。
Thank you very much for your question.
Holy moly. I understand her. I think I understand Japanese now. Damn, Dougie. You're smarter than you look.
候補がヨーロッパでした。
Well, not all of it, just half. You're still smart, Dougie. That was awesome. It was like watching a samurai.
We're all trying to wrap our heads around the different stages of the supply chain here. Can you give us maybe for a layman's point of view, what a separator does?
Don't look at me, bro. You talk. I'm too high on cherry pie. I'm chilling like a villain. Or shall I say chilling with a villain? Oh, Dougie, you make me laugh.
The question is for whoever wants to answer it. You all talked about workers and how this is a great thing for workers and that's the future. But there has been criticism about the use of foreign workers at EV plants, EV battery plants. So my question is, what guarantees were sought and received about who will get to work at this plant?
Oh, damn, this reporter knows about jobs for foreign workers and not for Canadian workers. I'm not answering that. No way, Jose.
Well, I want to say thank you for your question. And as the Prime Minister said, we chose our partners very carefully.
What the hell? I'm so high on pie that this guy sounds like he inhaled helium. He sounds funny.
We made sure that we would build the full value chain in the country and making sure that we would maximize the impact for suppliers, but also for Canadian workers. In fact, Minister Fedeli was just sharing with me that he's on his way to Japan to make sure that we would meet a number of people and connect. You know, once these investments, these anchor investments have been done in the country, our jobs is to maximize the opportunities for Canadians, whether it's Canadian workers, Canadian construction workers, but also the whole supply chain, because you're looking at generational investments that are going to create tens of thousands of jobs over the lifetime of the plant. So I can assure you that in all our discussions with partners like Asahi Kasei and all the others, we've always made sure that we maximize the number of jobs for Canadians.
He's really emphasizing the need to maximize. It could be 2 or 100, who knows? We're maximizing 2 Canadian workers. Stop it, Dougie. You're going to burst out laughing. Man, I miss Chrystia Freeland. I wonder where she is. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Laura Stone, Globe and Mail. Prime Minister, I want to ask you about leadership. Polls have put you 20 points behind the Conservatives, and it doesn't seem to be getting better despite your recent communications push from your budget. The public appears to have an overwhelmingly negative view of you personally, and you seem to have lost control of the conversation on some of the key issues that Canadians care about. I think the public might be looking at you and your position right now and thinking, for the good of the Liberal Party, why is he staying on?
Oh well, why am I even concerned? I'm a conservative. I should be fine.
I know there are lots of folks in Ottawa thinking about process. I'm focused on results for Canadians. I'm focused on delivering the kinds of things that are going to set Canada and Canadians up for success over the coming decades, because that's the moment we're in right now. The world is in a challenging place, absolutely. But that's why for 8 years this government has been putting forward investments and a frame that both fights climate change and creates good jobs.
What a fool, she suggested he step down. Instead, he listed all the reasons he's unpopular and then went into his usual talking points.
I know there are lots of folks in Ottawa thinking about process. I'm focused on results for Canadians. I'm focused on delivering the kinds of things that are going to set Canada and Canadians up for success over the coming decades, because that's the moment we're in right now. A different government years ago wouldn't have made the choice to build an EV ecosystem here in Canada.
What a pro. Oh man, she's asking me a question.
My question is about cars, but about car theft. How is the threat of suspending a driver's license actually going to make a difference in stopping auto theft? Somebody who's willing to steal a car probably isn't worried about the consequences of driving without a license.
Well, thanks for the question. I've said right from the beginning, we look at bail reform, and we worked well with the federal government on bail reform, worked well with Minister LeBlanc on that as well. making sure we tighten up Montreal Port, which again would work well with Minister LeBlanc on that as well. I believe in mandatory sentences. Someone's going in, stealing your car or kicking your doors in, putting a gun to your head, which has happened on numerous occasions. They should be going to jail immediately. What we've seen here in Ontario, people committing crimes, heinous crimes, and they're out on bail. Not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5 times. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the solution, there's many solutions, but one is making sure when we catch these criminals, we throw them behind the bars and keep them there, and discourage the rest of them to do the same thing. But I'm tough on crime.
I did it. I didn't answer the question, just used my talking points. I'm a pro now.